Yeah, so like a lot of businesses and a lot of utilities across the country, there's been a labor shortage this year. And so that includes meter readers. And so with that, one of the things that we do is we're trying to get all the meters read every single month. If we're unable to do that, we may estimate some meters. And basically what that is we look at historic use, try to estimate how much would be used for that month and that month's bill, and then the next month the meter is read to true up the actual cost. So that we're doing that on a limited basis because of that labor shortage. So in the meter reading area, we have somewhere between 10 and 15 vacancies at different times. And what happens is basically there's a lot of turnover. So we may hire some folks, but then some other folks may leave, and so that turnover. So it's kind of an ever-changing number, and we're trying to employ a lot of different strategies to retain those employees and recruit those employees to maintain that. So in electric, there are two tiers. It's at 850 kilowatt hours. So the first tier, you have a charge for the first tier, and then any usage above that 850 goes into the second tier. So yeah, so there may be a little bit of overlap into another tier. If that happens, it would be a small amount. But again, then the next month they're going to be lower and could be below the tier. And so that's a small impact. And again, the ultimate solution here is we're trying to get to a point where we're not having this shortage of labor, and we're having those advanced metering infrastructure in place to be able to read on a regular basis. The tiered structure, if you're in the second tier, you're only charged second tier for the usage in that tier. Not all your usage becomes second tier. So it's typically, again, like a very small amount that may be in one tier or the other from a month to month. And so it would be a minor adjustment. So City Commission, they're the ones that set policy for GRU. And so a tiered structure was put in place. I hate to do this because I don't know, but I think it was 2015 was when this tier was put in place at 850 kilowatt hours. And primarily the reason behind that is to promote conservation. So as you use more, the price goes up a little bit and encourages you to conserve electricity to stay within the first tier. So the biomass plant is just one of our generating units. So we have multiple generating units. Biomass plant, we entered into a purchase power agreement in 2014 and then purchased the plant outright in 2017. And so there's a lot of factors that go into kind of our ultimate costs. Right now, the biomass plant, it's a renewable energy, and right now the biomass plant is actually the most efficient unit that's running at this time because of fuel costs. And we have about over 30% of our power is from renewable power, and the biomass plant is a big part of that. Debt service is a cost that we have, and we have debt service for a lot of things that we build, including when we purchase the biomass plant. And so all of those things come together as one of our costs, along with our labor costs, material costs, and things of that nature. So all of those kind of feed into what establishes the rates that we need to recover the cost to provide the power and energy. So the best thing to do if you are having trouble paying your bill or you haven't really any questions is to call our customer service at 352-334-3434. A payment plan is something that we will work with just about any customer on, and what that really means is pay your bill over multiple months, pay a portion of your bill now, and you can kind of work with our customer service representatives to determine kind of how that plays out. You can also talk to them about late fees and things of that, and challenges you may have. And so every situation is a little different, but the best thing, if you call those customer service representatives, they can help you develop a payment plan that can work for you. No, we do have some challenges with labor in that area as well. And so, yeah, having less personnel or less experienced personnel that we're training up, that could be a challenge. And the number of people available is a challenge, but we're, continually addressing that issue and getting good folks and good talent in the door and training them up as best we can and as quickly as we can. We are a highly leveraged utility, so we do have investments in some big, big items and big parts of our generation unit, such as the biomass plant, we have a significant debt load, and that's where we are as a utility, and we're trying to figure out ways to continue to reduce that debt load as we go forward. One of the parts of your bill is the fuel cost. And so this year, fuel costs skyrocketed, specifically natural gas costs. This is across the world. And so that had a pretty profound impact on the cost that we pass on to the customer through the fuel adjustment. And that, all utilities, this kind of happened at all utilities. That cost has remained fairly high and probably will through the winter months. And we're hoping next year that some of those costs will come down and that you'll see more relief on our utility bills. Yeah, so we've had some feedback from customers on that. One of the things we did earlier this year was refund deposits earlier than we normally would to help folks during this time. So we changed our deposit refund policy during the peak of the summer. But we have evaluated that deposit policy to see if there are different ways, and we're still kind of evaluating the best things we can do there. We're updating our billing system right now, and we really can't make any big changes, some of those types of changes, until that happens. And so, but the timing is good for us to do that sort of evaluation, which we've been working with several folks throughout the utility and the city to see if that policy needs to be updated or changed. So the billing system, it's like a software system that basically how we do our bills out to our customers. It is a pretty old system, and so we're upgrading that right now. It's difficult to make any changes until that upgrade is completed. That's the AMI project, or Advanced Metering Infrastructure. What we're doing is we're putting in those meters. It provides a lot more data to customers so they understand how they're using power and water, and they can make adjustments to their behavior. And it also provides more information just to increase reliability of our power and things of that nature. That system, we have like our test area complete and it's all working properly. And so now, really starting in January, we'll do a lot of the mass deployment of those meters. And over the next couple of years, we'll impact all customers with that. But we'll over the next, let's say year, we'll have 50,000 more customers on those meters, and then as we go, we'll get more and more people connected. It's going to be really good. These challenges we talked about with estimated meter reads and things like that will all be addressed through that process, because we'll be able to remotely read meters and have a lot more data available for customers if they have questions about their usage. Yeah, we do. So we have a plan on kind of how those are going to be deployed. It's sort of diagonal lines across the city as we kind of march from southeast Gainesville across our whole service area. And so, yeah, we have a plan, and we're actually currently trying to hire some folks that can help do with the deployment, help set those meters, as well as our own employees that we have that will be doing that. So we have a contract with a company called Origis to put in solar, and we would basically purchase that power from that solar. And we're currently working with them right now where they're developing a site to put that on, and then a schedule to lay out how they will be constructing that. They requested an extension of time, which we agreed to. And so now it's obviously not going to be done in December of 2022, but will be done over the next several years as they develop that site and construct it, and then we purchase the power. Yeah, obviously there's some challenge there. Any bill you pay, and nowadays, like, the cost of everything has really gone up. The biggest thing probably is, sincerely, that each of us as customers, I've been a customer for 32 years of GRU, each of us as customers have the ability to really determine how much power we're using, how much water we're using, and things of that nature. And so there are tips that you can do, like as we approach the winter months, keeping your air around 68 degrees is going to make a big difference in lowering your bill, as opposed to turning it up to 75, 76 degrees. And so there are things we can do in our behavior that can really make a difference and lower that bill and make it more reasonable. And so really encouraging people to do that. Look at tips. There's a lot of tips online. We have them on our website, energysavers.com, GRUenergysavers.com, where it has some of these tips. And I think looking at that, thinking through how you use power and water and things of that nature can make a big difference in how much those costs are, and with some of them, very little change in behavior. Yeah, so I think from a perspective of what we do, like, what does GRU really do? What is our mission? So our mission is to provide essential utility services to our community so that they can prosper and thrive, at work, at home, at play, and our employees do that very well. Providing that service is 24/7 service. Our electricity is available 99.99% of the time. Water is always available, and wastewater service. And so it's a really good service that is provided. And I think the challenge folks have is, paying a bill for that. And really, we work really hard to try to build in efficiencies and anything we can do to minimize any increase in costs and keep that cost as reasonable as we can. And so the employees will really work hard at that all the time. And so I think the thing is just realizing this is an amazing service that is provided to our community and allows our community really to thrive. And our employees work hard to do that every day.